There's some pretty great stuff out there, and all the money raised goes to the Booster Club. So please, feel free to meander. And then throughout the evening, there'll be a couple other options or times to go out there. So you can bid up on whoever bid on whatever you wanted. And then toward the end of the night, we'll announce the winners. So take a look. There's some good stuff out there. That's all. Thanks. We love having him. He coached with us a few years ago and then took a couple years off. And this year, I needed an assistant to help Em with the JV program. We knew we were going to have a really great JV program and needed to have a great assistant coach to come along with that. And Dan was the first person we thought of, and luckily he said yes. So thank you so much for all the time that you put in as well. This is for you to add to your wardrobe. It's one of a kind. No one else has it. Another Spanish totem. And you guys, seriously, this is our last year we're going to be the totems. We're going to be getting new jerseys next year. I've stretched it out as long as I could, so enjoy the totem stuff while you can. All right, I'm going to turn this over to
proud of each and every one of our JV girls. They had a really great season, and all of them, there'll be a theme in my speech about each of them, but every single one of them improved tremendously from the beginning of the season to the end. So all of you should be very proud of that. I'm going to start off by recognizing two girls that aren't here tonight, Vionne and Kylie. They both accomplished and achieved a lot this season, so make sure you see them to tell them congrats. I would like to start off by talking about one of our captains, Eliana. Eliana, she really stepped up into a leadership role this season and was really always pushing herself and her other teammates to be the very best that they could. One thing that I've always admired about Eliana is her ability to step in on the field wherever she was needed. This season we had one game where I didn't have a catcher, and I was asking everyone on the team who wants to be catcher for this game, and Eliana said if no one else steps up, she will. So she ended up doing it, and she absolutely crushed it behind the plate, and she did great. But it's been really fun to coach you for the past 2 years, and I really hope you stick with it. So you can come on up here and get your award. You received a varsity letter as well. Okay, the next person I'm going to talk about is our other captain, Allie. Who is brand new to the sport as of her first year playing last year with us. But this year compared to last year, she's a whole different player. She's put in so much hard work in the off season with our Jeff sessions, and I'm just very proud of everything you've done this season, Allie. So you should, so I really hope you stick with it and keep working at it. But yeah, so come on up here and get your our main catcher, Bia. Bia was completely new to the captain position, but picked it up pretty quickly this year. She was very excited to play it and listened really well to the feedback that she got from the coaching staff. We could definitely always count on her to lead her team from behind the plate by being loud and just making sure everyone knew where they were going. I would say probably one of my favorite things, or one of her biggest accomplishments, was she'd been working really hard all season to really be able to make a throw down to 3 and get it out there. And when she connected finally with Kayla and her in one of our last games, and she made that play coming off the field, they had the biggest smiles on their faces. So just like Ali and Eliana at Bio, it's been really It's been a pleasure of mine to coach you for the past 2 seasons.
Ladies, could you come up here and be embarrassed next to Coach M so we can get you on video while she's talking about you? Please, parents, yes?
Katelyn, if you want to come up here. So Katelyn was our main pitcher for JV this season. Pitching is a skill that really requires a lot of determination and focus, and Katelyn definitely did just that and put in lots of practice to really perfect her craft of pitching. She's a very coachable player who's always willing to listen to the input I would give her. And towards the end of the season, she would even start telling me what she needed to work on instead of the other way around. So with that means I did my job right. So, yeah, but I really hope that you had a very great season this year. And I really hope that you, I can't talk. I can't wait to see all the things that you're going to do in the future. Kayla, if you would like to join me up here. Kayla played third base for us this year, and she pitched a little bit too. But she was always a very coachable player and was always asking lots of questions on how she can improve at playing F3 or in basically any aspect of the sport. As I said, she started pitching halfway through the season and was able to pick up the basics quite quickly. She is a very dedicated player who would work incredibly hard in practice and would take advantage of every opportunity to get reps in, and that would include sometimes staying after practice if it was available to her. She would then take the effort from practice onto the field for games by always giving it all to play for her very best for herself and her team. I can't wait to hear about all the good things that you'll do next season. Okay, next up I'm going to talk about Quinn. Quinn showed great dedication and determination throughout the season. She would actually show up to practice early almost every single day once the cages were open to put in extra work ahead of our normal 2-hour practice. She was always very eager to find out what we were doing that day too, and would always be the first one to help me offer to set up things. She was one of the loudest in the dugout, cheering on her teammates even if things didn't go their way. So congrats on a great season. Okay, Lexie, if you would like to join me up here. Lexie is another one of our players who has showed lots of determination on improving her skills. There were many times I would be doing pregame warm-ups and I would hit a pop fly to her and she might miss it, but then she'd ask for another one and she would fix her mistake almost immediately and catch the next one. It's something I always admired about you, was your hard work and determination. When she was in line for a drill, I could always also count on her to help her teammates on by either cheering them on something they did good or helping them direct them to where the play was, or if it was a fly ball, telling them where their position to be. So it was really great to have you on the team, and I really hope you continue with the program next year, Lexie. Okay, next, Maddie, if you would like to join me up here. I first met Maddie at one of the off-season practices where she was completely new to the sport, but I could already see a lot of potential in her. She was one of the loudest players on the field and was always calling out plays to her teammates, directing them where they needed to go when the ball was hit. One of my favorite memories of Maddie was when she caught a fly ball in the infield and was able to make a double play to second against Issaquah, which Issaquah is a very tough team, and she got us out of a long inning, so that was one of your highlights this season. Her season, though, was unfortunately cut short due to an injury but we also really enjoyed having her energy and positivity out on the field, either during practices or games. So great season, Maddie, and I really hope you come back. Okay, Lily, you would like to come up here? Lily was another one of our freshmen this season who was brand new to the sport. She was definitely a wall at first, and she kept everything in front of her, and which is crucial when you're playing first. She was another one of the girls on the team who always came to practice with a smile on her face and ready to listen to the input that the coaches had to say to help her be the best player she could. After Maddie's injury happened, she really stepped up on the field, making sure that everyone knew where the play was. So I'm really glad you decided to give softball a try this year, and I really hope you stick with it. So again, just to everyone, congrats on a great season.
Thank you very much. Okay, so before we take a little tiny break, we have a couple other people that need to join us up front. Jill and Shane, please join us. Jill turned 34 yesterday, and Shane turns 35 today. So we need to sing happy birthday, and you guys get a birthday cake. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jill and Shane. Happy birthday to you. So what we'd like to have happen right now, all the girls, both teams, we're going to head outside and take a team picture. Everybody else, grab some dessert in the back, refill your drinks, that kind of thing. Girls will get dessert after. And this is also the last time that you'll get a chance to bid on any of the auction items. So parents and families, get your desserts, do your auction items. Girls, let's head out right now. We'll take we will start back up again at 8 o'clock, 15 minutes.
Okay, I just put a bid out there, so we're closing the auction now.
So he was like watching. I want like other side giving it other. I just
Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and continue with our presentations. First of all, I want to bring up Sabina. Come on up. So we needed a few thank yous, and Sabina, sometimes we say she belongs to us, and other times she totally belongs to him. But she came out and helped a ton with our off-season practices. She would run some practices, she helped with pitching practice, and then she also worked at the Jeff clinics on Sundays, which I highly, highly recommend that you do. If you want to do it, you'll find out more information about that, but it's well worth it. But I don't have a gift for you other than life. But I just wanted to acknowledge her publicly and thank her for all of her extra work she's put in as a volunteer to come out and help us And I'm hoping that she will continue to do that in the off-season for everybody. Thank you.
We do have a gift for you.
And then I need to invite Mike up here, please. Can you please join me so you can be on the video? So Mike, as we talked about before, has put in countless hours. We don't ask him to do the videos, he does them because he wants to do them, but we all benefit from them, and we really appreciate all the work and time that you put in. So we got you something. We hope that you can use it in your videoing capacity.
Show us, show us, show us.
So hopefully that can hold some of your equipment when you're at other sports videoing. You can be sporting your Sammamish Fastpitch.
I really appreciate this, Coach Jess, because you're the only coach in the league that won't let me phone from the dugout.
You do have a special spot just for you right behind home plate, I heard. I didn't actually see it, but I heard it. Please bring up the Olsen twins.
I've been up there once. Happy
If you didn't know, these are Booster Club people. So when you get emails and stuff like that, Shane has put in a ton of time and doing all the stuff behind the scenes. He's helping out with the budget, figuring out what we need when we buy stuff. He's the one that pays for it, helping to just organize and keep track of everything and keep it all legal with our 501c3. So that's important. So we are legal. But we really appreciate all the time and hours of sitting at clinics and all those kinds of things that you have done for us. So, and Alan does not have a matching runner. So he's learning how to play golf. He's not really good at it yet, but he's getting there. No, he's good. You got your totems, Fastpitch, golf polo. And then Megan.
We were going to get him a crop top.
It wasn't dress code. Megan is extra special in multiple ways. She is very special. But one of the things, she keeps all the minutes when we have meetings, and oftentimes the meetings consist of us, but she does a great job organizing all of that and coming up with great ideas and helping execute the different ideas that we have for fundraising and all of that. But she also donates a ton of time to our program, coming out, sitting at clinics and things like that. And the extra fun thing about that is that she works for Microsoft, so then Microsoft pays her to volunteer and then pays the club her volunteer hours. So she's not only volunteering her time, but then she's helping raise money so that we can do things like this for the club. So we really appreciate all the time and hours that you put in. And the Microsoft thing is just a bonus, but if your company does matching funds, we would love to chat with you afterwards. But we really appreciate all the time and all the years. And she, even though your daughter is a senior, your last daughter, because we went through one and now we're through the other one. But you're welcome to come back and shag balls in the outfield anytime you want. She doesn't want to leave. She needs to live vicariously through all of you guys. So
as long as you work at Microsoft.
So this one is kind of for Megan, but kind of for Jasmine. It's a Christmas ornament, and no one in the family is allowed to decorate for Christmas except for Jazz. So you can put that up on your Christmas tree. And then there's a blanket in there for you too, so that you can stay warm.
You
Yeah.
cannot steal this, Jasmine.
All right. So it's the same one. That one's coming later. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Before we get, well, at the very beginning, we need to call up 4 different people really quickly. We need to call Lily, Kayla, Katelyn, and Eliana. Can you guys please do that? These 4 girls joined us through the postseason. They did an excellent job during their season, and so we invited them to come and work with us in the postseason. And they ended up being key parts of our program at the varsity level as well as at the JV level. What you have received is our photo of our Kinko Championship picture, because you guys are all in it. These girls came to practice, worked out with us. They didn't necessarily, I told them up front, you weren't necessarily going to get in a game, but we need you to help yourselves get better and help us get better. They were at practice, they were base running. Lily and Kayla were working in the infield, and it was really great. It was a huge addition to our preparation to get us ready for postseason. And so we really appreciate all that you guys did, so thank you very much.
Okay, I get to start, and I've got the outfielders, and
Plus one.
first I'm going to talk about Ellia. She's not here, so when you see her, congratulate her on another good season. Our solid right fielder and number 9 hitter. And so some people might think, well, she's batting number 9 or she's playing right field, but I think she did it better than any other team that we faced. We can play in the infield strong and make strong throws down to first because we knew that if the ball got away, Ellia was going to be right there. And she's thrown people out that were trying to advance because they weren't paying attention. Because for some reason in our league, other right fielders have no idea where they're going. Ours does. And when they practice that way, she gets to take advantage of throwing them out when they try to steal bases on her. But it's very underrated. But she's always where she needs to be at the right time, and she sets the table for the top of our lineup so we can score runs and score runs and score runs. So congratulate Ellia. So this is her varsity.
All right, Akhsar, would you please join us up front? So in case you didn't know, Akhsar is our 3rd baseman. She did an awesome job this year, and one of those ways that we can tell that you did an awesome job is when we looked back at the stats. So ladies, you're going to be getting stats tonight. You're going to be getting stats from our league and from the Kinko Championship together, and then you're going to get it from the whole season. When you look, yes, that was great.
So she's taking a picture up taller.
When you look at the stats for the league, this girl at 3rd base. 3rd base is a hot corner. There's balls coming at you fast. You don't necessarily have as much time to react because especially on a right-handed batter, the ball has to get around him before you see it. It's a difficult position to play, and you really have to be on top of it. She had 1,000 fielding percentage in the league play. I can guarantee there's no other 3rd baseman in our league that can say that. And you did an excellent job this year holding down that side of the field, making some really great plays, and it was just awesome to see you practice and play. And what was super fun about practices is a lot of times I would hit rapid fire. I'd hit some balls at her that were just out of her reach, and she'd come right back and have that smile on her face like that. And she would just be like, can I have another one? And then sometimes she wouldn't ask, and I would just say, I'm giving you another one. She's like, okay. But she was always ready to get more practice and to work really hard on the field, and it definitely was a huge help for our program. So thank you very much. She was honored with all league honorable mention. So in our whole league, so you're gonna have to help me gather this stuff while I'm talking. And then we have a couple of pictures for you. The all league certificates The Ollie certificates will be coming. They didn't have those prepared, but I have the list for you. So congratulations on it.
All right, so our youngest outfielder that we had, Tali. So Tali started coming to off-season practice before she started as a freshman year. And she knew where she wanted to play. She had a favorite player that she watched, and that was our center fielder from last year. And she had a team glove, so when I had the team glove, I said, would you like to use Maddie's glove? It was, oh, yes, I'm use Maddie's glove. And it's a great glove, right? But she was learning center field and learning how we do things and learning the game at the varsity level. And there's some things about Tali that you can't coach, like speed. You can't coach it. You have it or you don't. And that is huge. Now, one thing that I want to say, one of my most favorite things is to watch you run the bases as the year went on. And you own that spot. Anytime you were able to get in and run the bases, you might have started at first, but you always ended up at third before the at-bat was finished. And you not only did that during the season against our league, but you did that at King Cove, and you did that at districts against catchers that were throwing people out left and right. They could not throw you out because you mastered what it is you do. And I couldn't have been more proud to watch you run. You got a 500 average on base percentage for the season, and you scored 19 runs. So anytime you got on base, we knew where you would end up, and it wasn't going to be stuck on first. And so you put yourself in scoring position, and you scored a lot. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how many more runs we can score next year. But I was very proud of how you played this year, and your varsity letter as a freshman. So what we do in our program is when you're a 4-year varsity letterman, all 4 years, then on your 4th year you get a special treat. Jasmine knows about this, and you get a necklace. And so right now, as a freshman, you're a varsity letterman. You are now in line, so you have to come back. You don't play anymore. Yes. But we're very proud of all you did, and I was really proud to watch you run on those catchers from Boarding and Fife who thought they were just all that.
Alright, and just as a side note, Ording ended up playing Fife, and Ording 10-run Fife, just so you know. But anyway, we scored more runs on Ording than, no, I take that back. Fife scored 8, we scored 5, but still, whatever. Okay. So our next girl that we'd like to bring up, talk about the definition of tough. Who do you think that might be? Bella. So Bella, talk about being tough. So I know she plays other sports, and we're not going to talk about that, but she locked it down as our starting catcher. And at the varsity level, the catcher position is huge. It's a key position. It is so important. And anyone who's played catcher at any point in time in a varsity level game, you know it's a difficult thing to do. And Bella caught the majority of our games. She was so rock solid. There was several times throughout the season, so Coach Allen normally is calling the pitches, but several different times for various reasons, we'd say, Bella, you call it. And as a sophomore, that's unusual for us to allow her to call her own game or call her own innings, because not always are people mentally ready to be able to think about the strategy of it versus just getting the pitch call from the coach, setting up where the coach says, and catching the ball. But you are super smart, and you pulled it in, and all the work that you did this season to prepare yourself and understand the strategy of catching, because our pitchers are as good as they are because we have good catchers. And yes, pitchers work really, really hard, but you can have a great pitcher that is only good if they don't have a good catcher. And you helped make our pitchers better, and that was wonderful. And again, if you're a stats person, Bella had crazy stats. And I can tell you, we have a great statistician who's not here tonight, and I have a gift for Kim, but I do want to recognize her because all these stats that she keeps for us, she's amazing. So when you see her, please tell her thank you. But Bella, full season, all season long, you had a 967 fielding percentage. In league, 989. As a catcher, to have that high of a fielding percentage when you are touching the ball as much as the pitchers are, I mean, that's amazing. Really tough to do. You did an excellent job this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to be doing in the future. And she got a special present this year because we ended up getting a couple new bats. Thank you, Booster Club. And one of them went to Bella. And the very first time she got up there, I said, show me what that bat can do. And she just absolutely just hit it way over the outfielders' heads, and then she smiled, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty great. We know what that bat can do now. So I'm looking forward to seeing how much more that bat can do with your off-season preparation. But you did an awesome job this year. Thank you.
Okay, Annie, come join me. And Coach just forgot to mention that Bella received honorable mention for all league. So, great job. So Annie's a lot of fun. I think it goes back to in the off season when she knew she was going to wrestle, and so she's like, "Coach, do you know anything about that?" I said, "Well, I wrestled in school for a little bit, so I showed her some stuff in the batting cage before anybody else got there." And Coach Jess is watching, like, "What are you doing?" I said, "She's going to wrestle." So. She is strong. She is. I'm just telling you, she's strong.
No, it was actually like so.
Yeah. And so, but we not just in that way, but she shows her strength on the field, and it also comes out in her dedication because she really wants to perfect what it is that she does, and she really wants to please the coaches and not let her team down. So she wants to do whatever it is that she's asked to do to the best of her ability, and she works hard at it. And she requires a lot of coaching, and you have to sit back and think. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. Requiring a lot of coaching is you're pushing us to make you better, and that's our job. And the questions that you ask and the way you go about it and your work ethic is just fantastic. One of my favorite moments that came at the end of the year, but you have a lot because just like Tali, you came in and your responsibility you knew for a long time was running. Get on the base and run. And it was Ording. We were up against Ording, and she came in to run at first base, and she's standing there and she's super quiet. So when I ask her to do something, she gets it, she knows, but I'm used to getting a louder answer, but it was just looking at me. So I told her, I said, "Annie, this is something we had not done all year." I said, "You took a big lead, and the catcher's going to throw down here. And when she throws, you go." And we haven't done that before. You and I haven't. So some of us, we do this regularly. And so I thought, oh, God. I hope I explained it right. The pitch happens. She takes a huge lead. Sure enough, I look at the catcher. She's like, I'm gunning her out. She throws to first. She just doesn't even hesitate. Takes off. And it was one of the best head first slides in the second base.
So fast I missed it.
And again, I love that aggression, and you are uber aggressive when it comes to running and hitting and fielding the ball, and you've got so much power because I don't know where it comes from, but you said, "Coach, can I hit from the right side?" I said, "Yeah, we tried to work from the left side because she's so fast." She gets to the right side and she pounds the ball off the fence, and I'm like, Well, there goes hitting from the left side. But when you can do it, you can do it. And so I appreciate your attention to detail and how coachable you are. And I'm looking forward to watching you put one over the fence next year.
All right. Next, may I please summon Miss Tazi? So Tazi, here, let me switch sides. Doesn't her hair look cute? She just did it today. Tazi, we've gotten a chance to have you for a long time now, multiple years, which is really wonderful. And she is one of our captains, if you didn't know, and probably one of the most dedicated people to this program, which I love. And you can tell that by her off-season work and how prepared you want to be, and you want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on. So anytime we needed something for off-season and Tazi put it together, she wouldn't just put it together in her head. She had a notebook, she had bullet points, she had a thesis statement, she probably had, at least 4 paragraphs for each point. No, really, really good. But she's so prepared and dedicated. And I know one of my favorite things for the off-season was you held a whiteboard session. And I looked at your notebook and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a lot for everybody. But I mean, it was like 4 pages worth of all kinds of things. She's like, I wanna make sure we talk about first and third place, and we talk about this, and we talk about that. But I love the fact that you wanted to impart your knowledge. And the great thing about it is when you came to us in the beginning, you didn't know anything. And look at her now. I mean, she's one of our most strong, smart players on the field. But when she came as a freshman, she didn't know what to do. And she's just learned it. She just soaked it all in. And one of the things that you can see from her is this year, you were second in batting average on our whole team. She batted in the 2 spot. And just so that you know, which is pretty crazy, if you're a baseball, softball person, you'll understand that how great these batting averages are. But for Kinko Championship and League, you batted .552. So, but you also know the type of league that we play in, and then you know that we schedule against some other more difficult teams. And so this includes full season to include our postseason, and your batting average stayed at .523 for the whole season. So that's pretty amazing. You did such a great job with your batting and with your leadership and with all your organization, and we love that. And then of course, she got second team for second base. So second team all league. So many talented athletes, but you definitely are one that stands out as one of our dedicated players. And so as a captain this year, it was really, really wonderful to have you do all the stuff that you did. So thank you so much.
Season, and Coach Chestnut was standing back, and there was a lot going on in the cages, and she was running it, and the cheerleading part came out. She was clapping her hands. Y'all doing so great, such a great job. A lot of chaos, but you're doing so great. I had to go back in the shed. So I'm gonna start laughing.
It was really funny. There's a lot of chaos going on, but you guys are doing a great job.
That pretty much summed up some of the off-season stuff. Mridula. So Mridula locked down left field this year, and moving to the outfield was different. It was a different move for her. She played a little bit last year, but this year was predominantly in left field. And you made some fantastic plays. Double plays, running down a ball deep to the corner and getting the relay in between you and Sydney and throwing them out at home. That happened a couple times. Throwing people out because you've got such a strong arm. And it's kind of a sleepy strong arm because you're tall, you're long, you're lanky, you can throw the ball and you throw hard. And watching some of the other outfielders warm up when we were doing our pregame, and then watching our outfield during their pregame, you could tell they were watching to try to learn. And they could learn a lot from watching our outfielders, because our outfielders played really well and got so much better as the year went on too. Not only that, but we also got the team bat for Mridula, and we've been working really, really hard on her swing. And we got a lot of compliments from other coaches and umpires talking about that girl's swing looks really smooth, and when it's smooth, it's powerful. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's what we talk about all the time. But watching you take over with what you do with your bat and then on defense, it was fantastic. And the way that you and Ellen would communicate when you were out there with each other, to watch an outfield come together where it's seamless, where you don't really have to talk, that's when everything gets really, really fun as a player, but also as a coach, to see that happen where you're not having to yell to anybody what's going on, and you have outfielders that are strong and know each other. I saw it really come together the later we went in the season, at the right time. It really started coming together. So your leadership, the way you play, your maturity, this is going to be a fun senior year for you coming up. And yeah, but we won't talk about any of those kind of things because we've got to do this again next year. Then we can cry about it, right? But I'm really excited. And this off season, to watch you be able to get stronger and perfect what it is you're doing, fantastic. So good job.
All right, next person. May I please summon Miss Keira? We had two main pitchers. We had a third pitcher as well. But our two main pitchers were Keira and Sid. And Keira specifically, between last year to this year, completely different pitcher, completely different presence on the mound, so poised. Even when the umpire didn't give you the call and you knew you should have gotten the call, couldn't see it, you turned around, you got ready to make the next pitch. She has been working really hard in the off season. She also plays club ball, which is really great because then that gets you even more practice, and we happen to know the coach that you're working with because she played for her too. So that's really fun too. But it's just extra fun to see the improvement that you have made and how you've commanded the mound. Last year as a freshman, that's a little bit scary to be a freshman out there pitching against, juniors and seniors. But this year, you're 1 year older, 1 year stronger, 1 year smarter, and you just did a great job out there. And again, if you're a stats person, it's crazy. It's not even realistic. I don't know how you did this. Maybe Kim messed up. I'm not sure. But Keira's ERA, so for pitchers, you're looking at earned run average. Her ERA in league, 0.851. 0.851. Amazing job limiting the hits that people got off you. You were able to pitch so that we could feed it to our defense, and our defense would play strong behind you and did really, really well. Additionally, not only that, but with your batting in league, you were batting .480 throughout the whole league and Kinko championships. So you contributed with your bat, you contributed with your pitching, and then when she wasn't pitching, where was she? Shortstop. So then she would move to the shortstop position, and it ended up this year where we basically had our pitchers kind of just swapping. When they weren't pitching, they were at shortstop and back and forth. And that worked out really nicely, but you made some great plays at shortstop as well, all the way through the whole season. There's too many to think of, but previously you didn't quite have the confidence, and sometimes maybe there would be a misplay. But now, even if there was a misplay, you don't even seem to let it faze you. You just pick it right up, you make the play, and we had some amazing plays from you at shortstop. And as a pitcher, you field your position very well, which is difficult to do. So great job this season. Looking forward to next season. And she has also been voted as a captain for next season, so we're looking forward to seeing what you're going to do to help the team get better as a whole. So thank you.
And now for the anchor of our outfield, Ellen.
keep forgetting, Keira got second team pitcher all league. Just wanted to say that.
So this is going to be kind of in 3 parts. First part, Ellen Hill as our center fielder. Locked down, know where everything needs to go, strong communicator, and it's the anchor point of the outfield. It's right up the center, it's right in the middle. And to have good play on the left and the right, you've got to have the strongest, most solid communicator in the middle. And Ellen fulfilled every single bit of that. She commanded it. She was running in and catching balls at the shoe top. She was running back on the fence and making catches on the fence, throwing people out, know where the ball needs to go. As a defender, was just locked down. I saw other coaches across the league, when a ball was hit to their outfield, most of them ran to the parking lot. When we watched the ball get hit to the outfield, especially around center field, I didn't have to look because I knew it was going to get caught. And I didn't have to look to know where the throw was going, because it was going to the right place and it was going there quickly. And so as the outfielder, so that's part 1. Because she can play anywhere. She can play outfield, she can play infield, she can catch. Can you pitch? Yeah, so she was told she can't. So that probably no one can
I
stop
said I
her.
needed her in other places. That's what I said.
So as a defender, athlete is the best way to put it. And I don't know of a more phenomenal athlete in our league than Ellen in the outfield position or in any other position that they had on the field. Now as a batter, because it's 2 totally separate things. We got Ellen, the center fielder, we have Ellen, the hitter. And how many people sitting in this room, when we had runners on base and we needed something to get started, when Ellen came to the plate, everybody knew, hey, we're about to break loose. It's about to happen. And they weren't all home runs. 11 times they were. 11.
Woo!
You always say hitting's contagious. You spread it. You started a lot of that. And when we talk about how this team's lineup, no pitcher in our league is going to get through our lineup more than once without getting smacked around. And you are a big part of that. And we've got so much power, and we're known for power around our league. And it comes from a couple different spots, but when you put 11 over the fence and you watch them back up so far that they can't go any further and still can't play the ball, yeah, I love it. Are you going to do the other one? Okay. Oh, you got it already. Okay. Now, the third one. First, recognized as the first team outfielder in our league. Everybody in this room knows it should have well been MVP. Hands down. This makes 2 years in a row that we've been shunned and overlooked. But you know what? I have a feeling that probably the 2 of you are going to make a statement next year that's going to be undeniable. And the reason I know that is because I know how you've talked to me about working to get better each and every at bat. I mean, because there's no harsher critic of you than yourself. And I'm telling you what, you're going to meet all those expectations because of how hard you work, your dedication, your strength, and your commitment. And I'm looking forward to just watching a huge breakout year where you're playing wherever you're needed to be playing, and you're going to do it well because of how you are. And it started when I first met you back in Little League, when we were doing winter ball, and it was like 6-year-old Ellen, and it was the same. She was the same when she came in as a freshman, and I would try to coach her with something. This is how you feel. Why do you feel it that way? and when she was a freshman, it was that way. We were talking about hitting. Well, this feels comfortable. I said, yeah, but that looks comfortable, but let's try to get something more out of this. But you know what? I love that. because she knows what she wants to do, and she analyzes it, but she takes in everything that we coaches give her, and she makes it better. And so that you can only do that when you're driven. And so that's not going to take you just on the softball field. That's going to take you everywhere you go. Graduating next year and into college, and then becoming a doctor and supporting your parents. But we couldn't be more proud of you. And I tell you what, this team, you are a heartbeat and a heart and soul of this team. So, congratulations.
Yes, they are. Okay, so we had, like I said, we had 2 main pitchers, so may I please have Miss Ravenscroft. Sydney said to me, "Are you going to say something nice?" And I said, "Well, I've really got to think first." No, we love Sid. So clearly, Sydney is one of the keys to our team. As a pitcher, we've got to have good pitching. We love Foster. They are sweet people. But I can tell you, if you don't have pitching, it's really hard. And we've been in that boat where we haven't had pitching or we've had only one pitcher. It's been really, really difficult. It's great when you have one pitcher that's a good pitcher. But Sydney has held down our team as a pitcher for 3 years now. She's our leadoff batter. She's our only lefty. Great slapper. Really good at her just instincts, getting on base, and she's a super great base runner. The thing that we can do in our sport is we can courtesy run for our pitcher or catcher, and it's not a substitute. We can put somebody in, and Annie and Tali filled that role for us beautifully this season. But when Sydney was pitching, when she got on base, I was like, nope, not gonna run for her. Because first of all, if I tried to put in a runner, I can guarantee you would have turned around and you said, what? No, I'm fine. So I wanted to avoid that situation. But I don't need her to run. I need somebody else to run for her. She can run for herself. She's super smart on the base path. And I love the fact that she'll come over to first, or come over to third. I don't know if she does this to you at first, but she'll come over and she'll be like, so, can I steal? So, if it gets past the catcher, I'm gone, right? Yeah. And then there were times throughout the season, as you might be aware, where we would help the other team and we would leave early on purpose. And usually Sydney would come up to me and she'd be like, am I the chosen one? I would say, yes, you're the chosen one. And so she would step off early. But the thing that's great is she knew what she needed to do. She understood what that meant, and she was able to take care of it for us so that we could help keep the games moving on games that were a little bit slow. Pitching-wise, her ERA in league was 2.148. That's amazing. Both of our pitchers did an amazing job this year with just keeping the hits to a minimum, really putting the ball in play to our defense. And then, when she wasn't pitching, what were you doing? Playing shortstop. And again, another great combination for her. We actually really loved that combination of having you at shortstop and Keira on the mound because you were just such a solid shortstop for us. And I'm sure you all can think of multiple plays that we had where Sydney was involved, whether it be a relay in from Mridula, relay in from Ellen, whether she was just fielding. There was a video clip earlier where she caught a fly ball or a pop fly and then gunned a girl out at first. I mean, so many things that you contribute to this team, and one of the reasons for that is because you've been playing this game for a while, you understand it, and you're able to help impart that knowledge to other people with how you play. And we really, 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 really appreciate all that you've done for this team this season. Looking forward to next year as a senior. And she was also one of our captains this year, so she'd get to come up to the plate meetings and, make fun of me while I was trying to still do stuff or whatever. But she is a great key to our team, really helps our team out a lot. And the craft of pitching is so important, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how your off season will work and then get you ready for your senior season and see what we can do with that. But oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, totally owned Highline. Every time we played Highline this year, Sydney was pitching. every time we played Highline this year, they couldn't do much off of our pitching. And which is crazy because usually if you see a pitcher 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, you're gonna probably figure her out. They never figured you out. So really, really great job this season. And she was first team. She was first team utility this year, which last year she was for pitching, right? No, last year for pitching. But this year for utility, and that was primarily, she spent half of her time on the mound and half of her time at shortstop. And that was really great to have that versatility, and thank you for reminding me.
I don't need her to remind me. Okay, this is not an outfielder, but it's one senior, Miss Alayla. Can you please come up? I didn't know. I didn't even remind you about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, first of all, she was recognized as second team all league for utility player. So, as you could see from the earlier video, she's a hitter and really loves the high pitch. But at this point, I was like, I'm not changing anything. I don't want to change anything that she's doing because it works. If she sees it that well and she's yanking it off the fence, then just let her keep doing it. And you just kept doing it, game after game after game after game. And sometimes for me, I'm like, I don't know how she does it. And when I see a pitch come in with other batters, I'm like, don't swing, don't swing. I see a pitch coming in like that for a late, because at first base, I can see the angle. I see a high pitch coming in, I'm like, oh, here it goes. And she can hit the ball hard. He didn't get our home run in a game like we talked about this year, because she's got the power to do it. But watching you win that game with the double that scored Mridula to walk up, that was amazing. It was a great reward and a great moment of recognition for you as a hitter and as a player just coming through. And it didn't even matter. We could have had 2 outs and 2 strikes. It wouldn't have mattered because stuff like that doesn't faze you. You just get up there and you look over, you swing at one, it goes by, you look over to Coach Jess and you go. Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, okay, I'm not worried about it because you're what they call a contact hitter. It doesn't matter where it is. Your eyes are seeing it and you're going to launch it somewhere. And so we never had any fears or any doubts that you were going to drive runs in. And so we were so happy to do that. But as a catcher for us, didn't catch as many games this year, but you warmed up pitchers, you knew how they were doing, I could ask you how they were throwing, you made sure they were throwing well, and you did. The games you came in, you gunned that girl out at third base. That was fun, you and Akhsar, and you just had that moment, you two, you were like, that was the same thing with Akhsar. I got you. But man, your smile and your energy lit up the field. And it made doing what we do day in, that much more fun because we had your smile there. And the energy that you brought to the team was just, it was infectious. And I am so glad that last year that you rode with me to districts. Okay, I'll read about it. But you guys can all understand I had this one and my daughter in the car going down, so I didn't have to say a word. I didn't say a word the whole trip. And I might have just kind of went, seriously? And I might have been the only words. But yes, I was entertained, I learned a lot, I laughed a whole lot. But I'm glad that I got to know you that way, and that you're such an important part of this program. And I've told you several times, I'm glad you came back. I'm glad you played. I'm glad you stuck it out. And I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad I get to give you this on your senior day, kind of, hopefully other than graduation, your, if you go to school tomorrow, your last kind of thing from school. But I'm glad I can be a part of it. So yeah, you're going to be very missed. Now for the crybaby.
Okay. I know, I was trying not to while he's talking about Alayla. Oh, Alayla, we've had her for several years, and just watching her this year is like amazing. It was just, you're hitting, I don't have a thing for you, but I'm talking about you right now because she was second team utility because she caught for us and she was our DP. She was a hitting specialist. And like he said, it was not always what we were expecting, but it was always wonderful, and you always hit it so hard, and you always came in when we needed that key hit, and that was awesome, so thank you so much. Our last senior, Miss Madison, come on up, please. Okay, Megan, not like that. So, Madison, we've known Madison for quite some time, and the reason we knew her is because, first of all, you were forced to play softball, right? No, you wanted to. She was forced. So when Jasmine was playing, and she ended up having fun in our softball family, right? Because we are a softball family. And because she's the younger sister, all of you who are younger sisters, you understand, you tag along with whatever older sisters are doing, whether you want to or not, because that's what mom and dad are doing, that's what your older sister's doing. So Madison came out, and she was very clear that she was not really happy to be there. She wanted to make sure that we knew that she had other things to do as an 8th grader or 7th grader, whatever. She was just coming out and working in the off season, and she'd get in there and she'd hit, and she'd get in there and do stuff, and then as time went on, she softened up. She was like, this is actually kind of fun. And then as time went on, she's like, I think I can do this. And then as time went on, she's like, I think I can be good at this. And then as time went on, she's like, I want to be the best at this. And that's what she did. And so all 4 years, it was a long project, but we are so glad that we got to see it all the way through the end. So Madison was also another captain this year. She was a captain last year as well. So she's helped lead the team for 2 years in a row in that capacity. But she was our lockdown first baseman. And she got, thank you, you don't have to remind me. She got first team, first base. It wasn't even a contest, wasn't even a question. That was easy in that room when we were going over the all league stuff, and everyone was all about Madison because everybody took notice of you, everybody saw how you played, everybody saw the leadership you had. And at first base, other than catcher, first base gets the most opportunities throughout the entire season. And I just had it. You had in your full season, 929 as a fielding percentage, and in league, 979. As a first baseman. She had to dig a ball out of the dirt, or well, we call it the dirt, it was turf, but she had to dig a ball out, she had to work on different things, and she also had to kind of overcome, which several girls had to overcome, brand new equipment this year. So we were breaking in her first baseman's glove in the winter time, and then she gets a new glove, and as you know, it's difficult with a new glove. It doesn't feel quite how you want it to feel. So she really had that she had to contend with, but as time went on, it didn't even seem to matter. It's like it was part of you. And then, as we know, she batted in the 4 spot for us because she's so incredibly powerful with her bat. You even got your own song on all the videos. Every time you hit a home run. How many there were, or do you know? I just need to tell how many home runs she had this season. Because it was a lot. Full season, Madison. She was the second second person behind Ellen, and she had 5 shots over the fence this season, and a ton of balls hit to the fence and in the gaps that really helped move people. And what was really funny was there was one point, I don't remember, it was several games down the road, and you ended up coming all the way to third base on something, and I was like, "Are you okay? Are you good?" And she's like, "I'm a track star, Coach Jeff, don't you know?" So that was kind of our joke, but I had to be careful about yelling that across the field because I didn't know if the other team would understand and think that I'm being like mean or something. So I just was like, "Maddie, you're a track star, you can do this." But the thing is about Maddie, she just hits it hard and hits it far, and then you don't have to sprint if you don't want to. Anytime you hit it over the fence, you can just do that nice little jog all the way around. But also as a leader too, she's been one of the great glue organizers of the team. I know you get called the team mom in different things. She'll be a great communicator. She helped organize a lot of things with the off season. She put in a lot of time in the off season last year and this year, as well as for your own betterment at the clinics to get yourself better, but also to help the team. And so we will forever miss you as part of our program. And because you are our 1 4-year letterman, this is a special gift for you. Yes, you can open it.
We nicknamed her the Dream Crusher. She single-handedly broke Tazi.
She did. Tali happened because of her. But we want you to do it every single time. So the special gift, like Coach Allen talked about, is a special necklace, and it has a heart charm and it has a totem pole charm on it. And this is last year we'll be doing that. So you are the finisher of our totem pole charm situation. Since you're no longer, well, we can talk about it. We'll talk about it. But Madison has been a huge part of this program. We are going to sorely miss you. Thank you so much. All right, a couple more things before the captain's pitch come up. We had 4 team awards that we voted on as a team to try to honor 4 different positions and 4 different people as part of our program. And one of our team awards is for the most inspirational. And this one was difficult because we had a lot of people nominated. We have a lot of people that are considered inspirational to our teammates. And it was really fun to see how everybody voted on this, but I think the team chose really well. And the most inspirational goes to Tazi. All right, this next award, this was really difficult because we had so many people nominated for this award. Deserving, absolutely. But for this award, this was for most improved. And we had so many girls that started the season one way and finished the season another way. And a lot of that happened with stuff that they put in on the off season. But for our most improved, I think this is well deserved, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what she does even further in her softball career, and that's Bella. This next one, Golden Glove. So this is someone that we were looking at with our best defense. How they helped the team with their defense, how they led the team with their defense, and this one was not really close. This was a clear winner, and we totally agreed with that. So many times where this girl saved us from things that could have gone wrong. So Golden Glove, Madison. And then again, this was not even a question. Our MVP, this one is, you can hold it here, pose for the camera. Okay, so this award, Silver Bat, as as we know, she hit 11 home runs this year. She drove in 55 runs. 55 runs she drove in. Just this girl right here. All that. And she uses a team bat, but at the same time, she's like, I don't want anyone to touch this bat. Okay. But
I know a guy.
she was a huge contributor. As much as Madison was a contributor with defense, Ellen was a contributor with offense, and we so appreciate you, and so you are definitely Yes, we're going to take, so thank you. We're going to take about 3-minute break, and then the captains have a presentation that they want to do really quick, so 3 minutes. Ready to go. Amen.
Okay, so before we do the players, we wanted to thank our amazing coaches for another great year.
Is it lights? Behind every player who believes in themselves is a coach who believes in them first.
Anyone who travels, please come see me because I will probably need you to bring back a Starbucks cup for me. Thank you very much.
Wait, which one is it?
The UW one. Thank you.
They got me a new motorcycle.
Thank you. No, it is, right?
Okay, so we like to do our little candy superlatives every year. So get ready to laugh at some really great candy puns. Our first person is Mridula, and we have gummy bears because she had a very good season. So besides that, so honestly, you were a huge part of this team this year, whether it be you fielding in the outfield or you hitting, which was amazing this year. I always knew if I didn't have a good hit, you would come right up behind me and really make up for it. So Gracie's this year. Okay, they both wrote out things and I'm just gonna go off the top of my mind. Okay. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
I have them all written down. Okay. So the first one is Eliana. And Eliana, you got Smarties because you were such a smarty on the base path. And I'm so happy that you played again this year, and you did so amazing. I'm so happy that. And you were such a great what's the word? Addition. You're such a great addition to the team, and you're always so sweet and kind. And I hope you come back next year. Okay, the next person I got was Katelyn, and you got a crunch bar because you always helped others when they were in a crunch. And I also really enjoyed you playing this year and coming up this season with the varsity and base running, and just seeing you pitch and being able to help you pitch is just, it was great, and I really enjoyed you having me. Hopefully you come back next year. Okay, the next person I got was Tali. And you got a Snickers bar because you always made a Snicker on the field. Yes, I really enjoyed playing with Tali this year, even though she's Tazi's sister. I think they're very, you like look at Tali and she's very like different from Tazi. Like when she came up, I was expecting something similar to Tazi, but she's very different. I'm very happy that. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. Okay, I also got Alayla. And you got a Kit Kat because you did great this season and you deserve a break. I've been playing with Alayla since Lily, as you saw from the video, and I'm so sad our season is coming to an end, but it was so great seeing like how much you improved, and I'm gonna miss you a lot next year. Okay, I also got Annie. You got Tootsie Rolls because you always roll with the punches. I love playing with Annie. She was supposed to be my other slapper buddy, but she ditched me, but it was fun. But I really do love playing with Annie. She's such a hard worker, as her job said, and I'm so excited for next year. Okay, and I also got Madison. Okay, she got M&Ms, but I know she did that because she loves M&Ms. But you got M&Ms because you are motivated and magnificent. And I have loved playing with Madison since my freshman year. I think we were the best pitcher-catcher duo. My freshman year, I'm so happy I got to play with you, and I already cried, but I love playing with you, and hopefully you come back next year. It's not over yet.
All right. I had Sydney. She had the Milky Way, and this is because she's out of this world, as you can tell. So what I wrote about Sid is that she is out of this world, not only as a person, but on the field. She's always heads up. One of our best double plays and extra plays on the field was because of Sid and how aware she is on the field. So congrats to Sid. And then I have Kayla, and you can come on up here. She got I said that she is the Swedish on the team. She is always smiling every single day I see her, whether it was off season, whether it was during the season. She always has a smile on her face, and I am so excited. We're so lucky to have her on the varsity team, but also on the JV level. We are really excited to see her come back next year. So. For Akhsar, we did Laffy Taffy. And this girl always gets us laughing. She has the most infectious laugh. You'll just hear her laughing and you'll start laughing because it's just so great. So we're so happy that you're playing with us and we are excited for your senior season. Yay! Alright, my last one was Bella. She got Reese's Pieces. And my joke was that we would be in pieces without her. Through her stats and what the coaches have said, she literally held our team together behind the plate. I trusted her completely this entire season. I'm excited to trust her next season. Behind the plate, yeah, she just locks it down. So, love you, Bella.
Okay, my second person is Lily. Because she was the sweetest on the team. So, from the short time I played with Lily, she was just such a sweetheart, honestly. She was a pleasure to work alongside with first base. Whenever I'd make a play, then turn around to switch, she'd always be like, oh, great job, or something sweet like that. So it was really great to work alongside you at first. My next person is Tazi, and she got Starburst. She was just a burst of energy every day. So you were always encouraging and always had so much energy to bring to both practices and especially game days. Whether it be on our team room, dugouts, the bus and away games, or any field you have ever set foot on, you've always encouraged all our teammates and especially me. And always giving high fives and standing at the dugout benches, encouraging and cheering everyone on all the time. Okay, my next person is Ellen. And this one was really tricky because I had so many puns, guys, but I had to settle on one, which was extra gum. Because she, jokes aside, she honestly put in all of the extra work. Yeah, she was honestly one of the most dedicated players I've ever played alongside, and it really was just a pleasure working alongside her and batting after her. There was no pressure at all to hit a home run every time. But honestly, you truly put in so much extra work this year, and I'm very proud of how your junior season went. And I can't wait to come back and see your senior year, of course. So my last person is Keira, and this is one of my favorite puns. So we got her Pop Rocks because you really popped off this year. So you had an amazing season all around, but what I was really proud of you was your pitching. And whether you had to come in and close the game or start us off strong, you showed up every time, and it showed throughout the season with your stats. Being a sophomore and starting as a pitcher is a huge accomplishment. You should be really proud of yourself, and I know I'm very proud of you. Which leads me to my next point, that she's a captain next to you guys. Woo! And that concludes our superlatives this year. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ladies. Okay, last thing. Thank you so much for your attention. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful venue and our meal and everything that happened. So thank you to everybody who put that together. And thank you to everybody who donated for the auction. So, oh, now I have to read these. Okay, the save water, drink wine one. Is this a Vanderkolk? Okay, because I can't think of anybody else that ends with V. Okay, so is it Jed? Yes. Jed. Okay, Jed, you got that option. The Rain or Shine Be Game Day Ready, the stadium chair and all of that stuff. That went to Roberto Gonzalez. Yes. Thank you. Whether you like it or not, hate family, you're coming voting with us. So thank you. You guys won the voting outing. We will be chatting to figure out a mutually agreed upon date. Okay, perfect. The Mercury's coffee basket went to Megan Gedwich. All right, the Trader Joe's went to Roberto Gonzalez again. The Nespresso. I know this was a big deal. This one went to Coach Allen. No. He made me do it. I'm sorry. Mama, you are the winner of the Nespresso. So thank you so much. If I call your name, unless your name is Coach Allen, come on up, claim your prize. You can cash out.
QR code up there, or I have Square if you have a.
Yeah, if you want to pay with a credit card, you can do that. However, just come up and see Megan, and she will help take care of that. Thank you again for your time and everything that you all have done this season to help support the program. And guess what? Summer practices start tomorrow.